When hope is gone, undo this lock and send me forth on a moonlit walk. Release restraint level 0. Hey kids, wanna see a dead body?
Hi guys, this is the Void of the Ravenclaw. Welcome back to another fanfiction story. If you like this type of content, smash the like button and subscribe for future videos, updates, that I do post on my community tab frequently. Now this is the Son of Brainiac, part 25. With Deku's newly formed claw constructs, using the yellow power ring, and ran towards the Green Lanterns and Manhunters. He dodged under a Manhunter's energy staff, then instantly turned his body to the side, dodging a incoming sword construct from one of the Green Lanterns. Deku performed a backflip and landed behind a charging Manhunter, then ran his yellow claw into the back of the Manhunter. Then Deku kicked the Manhunter away, then blasted the Manhunter with his heat vision while it was in midair. Deku dodged several more weapon constructs by several different variations of Green Lantern's constructs, all bladed. Deku noticed the rest of the Manhunters are giving the Green Lanterns fire support by shooting energy out of the palm of their hand, mixed with a few Manhunters using their staff to shoot energy at Deku. Deku crossed his claws in front of him in a X position. His claws increased in size as the yellow claw construct began to absorb all of their attacks. Deku released green fire out of his mouth, then immediately began to spin around. As the fire begins to spin around in a wide area, killing a good portion of Green Lanterns being burnt alive, Deku deactivated his claws and rushed forward at a very vulnerable Green Lantern. The Manhunter and the Green Lantern tried to stop his progress, but Deku only absorbed their attacks. Deku plunged his fist right through the Green Lantern's chest, pulling out his spine. He pulled out the Green Lantern's spine. The Green Lantern's head was still attached to his spine. As he casually tossed it to the side, then charged forward, killing another Green Lantern by ripping out his heart. Then Deku proceeded to use his heat vision to kill the rest of the Green Lanterns and destroy any Manhunters that was left in the room. Some Green Lanterns did survive his heat vision barrage, but they didn't live long. Deku simply walked past them as their life force was being drained in rapid pace. Deku just kicked the door open to the other side of the prison wing and made his way into a long hallway. Deku had to stop as the entire hallway was filled with Green Lanterns. "Halt! You will go no further, Yellow Lantern." "How amusing. I'm no Yellow Lantern, but I'll play along. You know, gentlemen, it's not very wise of you to be all grouped up, so close to each other. Don't listen to him. Get on your knees and put your hands behind your head. We're taking you in on charge of mass murder and impersonating a Green Lantern. I think not, as Deku slowly raised his finger at the Green Lantern that are all grouped up together in the hallway. As the tips of Deku's fingers begin to glow bright green, as he announced his attack so everyone could hear him clearly, Emperor Death Beam. As soon as the first Death Beam was fired, several more instantly fired off in rapid succession in a Death Beam barrage. As blood and body parts begin to fall to the ground, when Deku finally stopped his attack, all that was left of the Green Lanterns were pieces of their bodies scattered all around. And the blood is decorated the walls of the hallway. That's definitely effective. I might have to use that I might have to use that more often. Deku proceeded to walk between all the severed limbs of different body parts scattered all around the long hallway. He eventually turned a corner, then proceeded to head downwards to the next level. When he finally descended down the stairs, he found himself in an empty hallway filled with laser turrets that's attached to the ceiling of the large hallway. The moment Deku stepped closer, all the laser turrets opened fire upon Deku. Deku continued walking while dodging, never once stopped his momentum. He kept dodging around the laser fire until he walked past the laser turrets. Deku noticed the slight spark coming from the hallway, walls, and floor. Deku simply hovered just inches above the ground as the entire hallway became electrified. An electric hallway, impressive. Getting into his prison was pretty easy, but traveling through it would be quite difficult for anyone else. Wouldn't you agree? Whoever was watching me, as Deku stared upon to the camera that's attached just above the doorway at the end of the hall. I gotta admit, whoever you are, your defenses inside this lovely prison of yours is quite fascinating. But seriously, you need to work on your security outside the prison. But I digress. I'm not here for such topics. It doesn't matter what trap you activate. You won't stop me. You might slow me down a tad bit, but you can't stop me. But I look forward to your attempts. And please, try not to disappoint me. I would have to hate to blow this planet up in frustration. As Deku said that last part with a smirk on his face, as he punched right through the door. There was many ways he could have gone through the door, like use his technokinesis, or burn a hole through the door using his heat vision, or his variation of other skills that could do the same thing. But he believes a more direct approach would deliver a more accurate message. You've been oddly quiet, None for All. I'm dealing with my own problems here. Seems like the parasite has finally broken free. You need my assistance? We'll have time for that. You continue on whatever you're doing. I'll deal with the leech. None for All caught a fist that would have hit him in the back of the head with one palm without even looking. Not bad, sneak attack, old man. But you know that won't work on me. And why is that? I know how you think, parasite, as None for All pointed his index finger at his head. As he said that, and dropped the angry expression on your face. I know as well as you do, you would do the exact same thing if our roles were reversed, old man. All for One grit his teeth, then gave a sinister smile as he started to chuckle. I see, so that's how it is. You are a combination between myself and Deku. I gotta admit, I was surprised of your arrival and your sudden attack upon me, and the fact that you drove me so deep in Deku's subconscious. It was very irritating. I'm going to have to pay you back for that. Oh, please. We both know you can't take me. I'm more powerful than you are, smarter than you are. I would even say I'm a far more superior upgrade. You know the old saying, how did those humans put it? In with the new and out with the old. Just face it, Relic. You're obsolete. You're a cocky little shit. You have to blame Deku for that, but I digress. Let's see what you have, old man. It still remains to be seen. Let's see you try to defeat me without using a surprise attack, you cocky little bastard. Enough talking, old man. You're boring me. That remark did it for All for One. Formed his arm into air cannon and shot it at None for All. None for All did the same thing as he created an air cannon from his arm. Both air cannons, air bullets, collided with each other. The city that displays Deku's mindscape was assaulted by wind pressure, breaking some of the windows. All for One disengaged his air cannon and increased his right arm, in size as he threw a humongous punch at None for All. Once again, None for All copied the exact same tack that All for One did and created a humongous fist and collided with each other, pushing both of them back. None for All is only playing with All for One. That might be a bad thing or a good thing, only time will tell during their battle. As None for All copied every attack All for One made, making All for One extremely frustrated. It's frustrating, isn't it? Almost like you're fighting yourself. Wipe that fucking smirk off your face, spoiled brat. You might have the battle in a tie, but I have something you do not. Experience, boy. See you talking, and all I could hear is, None for All, please hit me. I'll show you your experience. I'll show you that your experience doesn't matter, old man. None for All flash stepped in front of All for One and slammed his elbow into his chest, making All for One go flying through several of the black buildings in the Black City. Meanwhile, Deku is finally walked through the archway of the door he punched right through into a large chamber, only thing to meet Deku with some sort of Green Lantern juggernaut power armor, with a Green Lantern inside, smashing his fist into the palm once he noticed his arrival, as the door was sealed off from behind Deku by a thick blast door, trapping him inside. Only way out of the room is a larger blast door right behind the Green Lantern in the Juggernaut power armor. Interesting. I don't know how you got this far, but your journey ends here. I can't in good conscience outright kill you, even though I would like to, even though you killed many of my comrades, but I won't stoop to your level. I might not kill you, but that doesn't mean I won't break a few bones. As a humongous Juggernaut power armor charge, as the humongous Green Lantern power armor charge a beam of energy out of his chest, he watches the beam shoot out of the power armor's chest towards Deku. Deku caught the beam with both of his hands as large beams start to apply more pressure, pushing Deku back a few steps, surprising him by the output of power. Deku, in response, add more strength to his power struggle, as he starts to push the beam back. The Green Lantern noticed this and increased the output of power into the beam that shot out of the chest of the Juggernaut power armor. Deku noticed the power of the beam, that he's in the middle of the power struggle, increase in output, pushing him back even further. Deku grit his teeth and used more of his physical strength to push the beam back. Before Deku could do anything else, the beam of the energy started to fade away. Deku's hands and upper torso began to steam from the beam struggle he just had. The entire Green Lantern Juggernaut power armor was clearly overheating from overusing the chest beam. The entire frame of the power armor was steaming. Deku couldn't celebrate as the Green Lantern piloting the power suit immediately charged forward. Deku proceeded to easily match each punch that the power armor gave him with his own. Deku uppercut the power armor and made it slightly go airborne, then appeared right above it and gave it a Hail Mary, combining both of his hands together and slamming both of his palms into the chest of the power armor into the ground. We cut back to the scene into the mindscape of Deku, where None for All and All for One has been continuing their battle. As you can see, None for All colliding fists was All for One at the same time when Deku was exchanging fists with the Green Lantern Juggernaut power armor in the real world. Each time their fists collided, shockwaves could be seen, cracking the buildings from the wind pressure they were creating by their clash. Do I sense a hint of tiredness in you, young blood? In your dreams, old man. Are you sure you don't need a break? I don't want you to break a hip after all. Funny brat. Both All for One and None for All landed a punch at each other. All for One could see his fist hitting None for All on the side of his face, while you could see None for All slamming his fist in the opposite side of All for One's face, as they both land a punch at each other at the same time, pushing pushing them back, away from each other. Both All for One and None for All continued to slid back until they stopped. I'm quite curious why you're so resistant of my presence. Your manipulation won't work on me, old man. I know how you think. If I remember right, I made my intention pretty clear. I'm fully aware of your intentions, but it's not going to happen. Old man, you're not needed here. Suddenly, black chains burst out of the street and wrap around All for One's arms and legs. What are you doing? Release me. Time for you to go back in your cage. All for One slowly begins to be dragged into the ground by the chains. All for One tries to struggle, but he can't break free. He tried his best to keep himself submerged from sinking into the ground. You bastard, you pay for this. I think it's time for you to go back where you belong. I'll drag you so deep into his subconscious, you won't escape until we find a way to end you. I enjoy our time, old man, but all good things must come to an end. Come to an end. With a simple flick of his wrist, the chains wrapped around his neck and pulled him into the ground as the street began to repair itself in mere seconds after All for One was fully submerged into the ground. Meanwhile, Deku is still matching each punch from the Green Lantern power armor, where he got out from the initial attack being slammed into the ground. Then Deku proceeded to shoot out a condensed death beam that shot right through the cockpit of the power armor, almost killing him instantly. As the power armor fell back on his back and began to power down, Deku ripped off the opening of the power armor to reveal the heavily damaged and unconscious Green Lantern as he plunged his hand into his chest, pulling out his heart. As he jumped off the power armor and begins to walk towards the large metal blast door, Deku shot a key blast behind him without even looking, vaporizing the power armor. As he begins to examine the thick metal blast door blocking his path, has everything been taken care of, None for All? Yes, the problem has been dealt with. He won't be getting out anytime soon, but we need to find a method to get rid of him permanently. He'll find a way. He's a snake. Will do. When the time comes, my friend. Deku flicked his finger into the metal blast door as the metal door begins to vibrate from his finger flick. Deku proceeds to finger flick the blast door in different areas. Each time he flicked his finger, the metal blast door would vibrate from the pressure of his finger flick, trying to find the location of the weak point. Child's play. As he plunged his index finger into the metal blast door, digging into the metal, the door begins to buckle upon itself, cracking. The crack continued until the metal blast door couldn't maintain its solid shape and crumbled into little pieces of metal. Deku calmly walked inside the archway into a short hallway leading to another elevator. He stepped inside and pressed pressed one of the many buttons in the elevator cart as the elevator began to descend downwards. When the elevator finally stopped and the door finally opened, he found himself in another prison wing. Once he exited the elevator and walked into the hallway and opened the door that led to another prison wing filled with prisoners in the same sort of structure that the other prison wing had. The whole area is scattered with prisoners all along the wall in their cells. And Deku noticed the heavy presence of the Green Lanterns in this prison wing, patrolling the area to making sure none of the prisoners caused any trouble. Deku calmly walked into the middle of the room and began to drain their life force. Prisoners and Green Lanterns alike. Cleansing another prison wing by absorbing all the life force. As the visible life force began to swirl around Deku and began to absorb into his body, Deku was quite pleased with the amount of life force he's been absorbing. He's getting closer to his evolution. He could feel it. He just needs more. Deku went into a feeding frenzy, running through the prison, absorbing anyone that he sees. The moment he exited the prison wing, he saw two Green Lanterns walking towards him. He flash stepped right in front of them and grabbed both of the Green Lanterns by the face and slammed them into the wall and began to drain their life force, as both Green Lanterns tried to pry his hand off of their faces and digging their fingers into his wrists. But no matter how hard they tried, they couldn't break his grip or dig their fingers into his skin. All that resistance only made Deku drain their life force faster. I need more. As Deku dropped the husk to the ground as they shatter into dust. As Deku scanned the area with his glowing green eyes, analyzing the room that is filled with Green Lanterns and Manhunters. Before the Green Lanterns could even formulate a thought of an attack, Deku was upon them with such a swiftness as he grabbed one of the lanterns by the throat and lifted him up in the middle of the air and began to drain his life force, while the other lanterns opened fire, using their power rings to shoot bolts of energy, only for their horror as their energy attacks begin to absorb into Deku, completely ignoring their attacks, and continued to have his main focus absorbing a life force from this singular lantern. Eventually, the lantern aged so far that he turned into a husk. When he let go of his throat, the moment the husk hit the ground, it turned into ash. He began to move on to the next target like a hunter, hunting his prey. Any manhunter that got in his way was easily dispatched with a death beam or his heat vision. While he began to drain another lantern by grabbing him by the face and slamming the back of his skull of the Green Lantern into the metal ground as he begins to drain his life force. One of the Green Lanterns made a green construct of a fist, struck Deku in hopes of saving his friend. But the lantern was horrified. His attack did nothing, like he didn't even feel it, as he watched his friend withered away into a husk, then turn into ash right in front of him. The lanterns begin to back off in fear. Do I sense fear? Don't worry, little lanterns, you're next. As Deku just appeared right in front of one of the lanterns, shocking him. As Deku plunged his hand into his chest, grabbing his heart as he begins to drain his life force. Slowly, as several Green Lanterns create constructs and hope to save their friends. But no matter how hard they tried, how much they attacked, nothing happened as they watched their comrade slowly disage and die, turn into a husk, then ash. But to Deku's curiosity, in his frenzy, he noticed the manhunters did not attack. They just stood by and watched the entire thing as the Green Lanterns are being massacred in such a gruesome way. One of the bigger lanterns managed to get close and slam his fist into Deku's face. Only thing he accomplished was slightly making Deku turn his face slightly to the right. Is that all? Is that all you have? Suddenly, there was a sonic boom as Deku hit the lantern so hard and fast that the other Green Lanterns didn't even realize their friend was struck in the face, as the larger Green Lantern went flying backwards, hitting the wall hard of the chamber, or of the room. Deku slowly walked towards the Green Lantern that's leaning against the wall, breathing heavy from receiving such a heavy attack, as blood is beginning to drip from his forehead, from being struck so hard. His fist was lightning fast. He didn't even realize he was hit before it was too late. He didn't even see it coming. That's how shocked he was. Deku shot several death beams into the man's shoulders. When the other Green Lanterns tried to intervene, suddenly they were forced into the metal ground. As they tried to get up, struggled to get up, as the gravity around them began to increase, stopping them from moving. Deku didn't even acknowledge them. Only thing in his range. Only thing that's in his gravity range. Only thing not in his gravity range was the Manhunters. The Manhunters. They were slightly out of his range, on the other side of the room. But Deku didn't care about the Manhunters. His main focus was feeding. As he continued to shoot death beams into the Lantern's body, as several death beams went right through his limbs, like his legs. The moment his beams went through the Lantern's legs, he fell to his knees as Deku grabbed the Lantern by the throat and lifted him up above the air. You're a monster. Many people have been in your position in the past. Many have boldly claimed me a monster, a demon. And you're not wrong, there, Lantern. Any of you inferior life forms would consider my act to be monstrous. But that doesn't matter to me. Your morals mean nothing to me. Good, evil, they're just words for insignificant life forms to strive to keep their existence going. I believe that's enough of that. Time for you to join your comrades. As the Green Lantern began to scream, as Deku drained his life force, as the other lanterns were unable to do anything, as they're completely pinned to the floor because of the increased gravity that's around them. After draining him dry, leaving him nothing but a husk, then he turned into ash. Deku closed his eyes for a few seconds, then opened them back up, and began to drain the life force everyone in the room, eventually turning them to husk, leaving nothing but ash. It only took him mere seconds to absorb all the life force in the room, completely killing all the lanterns. I'm surprised you just sat there and watched. As he turned his attention towards the elephant in the room, the manhunters. One of the manhunters stepped forward with bright, glowing yellow eyes. Manhunters usually have glowing green eyes because of the energy they use. But this manhunter was glowing bright yellow. As the manhunter begins to speak, in its typical not in his typical manhunter voice, it almost seems like the manhunter was being forced to speak, like someone was talking through the manhunter. It was clearly evident by the voice. The only reason why the manhunters have not attacked you is because I deem it not necessary. I take it you're not one of these manhunters. It is almost like you're controlling it somehow. Intriguing. Indeed, I'm temporarily using this unit to converse with you. I've witnessed many things in the multiverse. In both of the multiverses. But I've never came across something like you. Normally, I wouldn't put much thought in a inferior biological life form. But you are unique. Beyond your kind. See you, lower life form. The Manhunters no longer serve the Guardians. They serve me. And what exactly are you after? Why are you conversing with me if I'm such a lower life form in your eyes? It's quite simple. To give you a warning. Stay out of my way. Explain. You might not be an imminent threat, but you have the potential to be a major threat to me. I don't know why you're absorbing the Green Lantern's life force, but I have no doubt to increase your power in some way. And who exactly are you? You find out one day, Deku, or should I say, Brainiac Zero. Deku narrowed his eyes. Watch your next words very carefully, whoever you are. I won't do such a thing. You're beneath me. Deku he's starting to get irritated by whoever this is, who's controlling this manhunter like a fucking puppet. He doesn't like his attitude. Deku, without warning, fired an Emperor Death Beam, mowing down all the manhunters in the room, completely discarding the warning from the mysterious puppet master. Deku begins to walk past the manhunters that was being controlled. As the sparking eyes of the manhunter is flickering as it speaks once again. You're going to regret this. Your fate will be the same with everyone else in this multiverse when I finally arrive. I highly doubt that. As Deku pointed his index finger at the heavily damaged manhunter, as a death beam went right through the skull of the manhunter, blowing it up. That's where we're going to stop it. Hope you guys have a good night and day. Judge it by time zones, and I'll catch you in the next video.